Hi YouTube, Timothy Unkert here. In this video, I'm going to look at Bootstrap 5's grid system. Now, Bootstrap 5 is a CSS framework, and it's helpful for people who don't have design skills like myself to get a nice looking website up nice, quick, and easy. So the first thing we want to do is I have an HTML file open and I have VS Code open. What I want to do is do an exclamation point and hit tab, and that's going to give me a general CSS framework. I'm going to hit tab again until I get between the title tags, and I'm going to type Bootstrap 5 grid system. Okay, hit tab again, and I'm going to create a div with a class of container by typing in .container and hitting tab. Inside of that, I want to give a div with a class of row. So I'm going to hit .row and hit tab. And inside of that, I want three columns. So I'll do .col asterisk 3 and hit tab. And that's going to give me three divs with a class of column. Okay, I'm going to do some multi-cursors here by holding down the Alt key. And I'm going to go back, and in between the opening of the first and the closing of the first tag, I'm going to type style equals, and then we'll do background color. And let's do aqua for the top. Let's do orange for the middle one. And let's go down here and let's do red, but let's change it up a bit. So I'm going to hover over, and when I hover over it in VS Code, I can now move this around here. And I can move around the color here to go to different colors. Let's say I wanted to go to blue. And I can actually move this around to change the opacity. So I'm going to bring down the opacity a little bit, and that gives me an RGBA color. Okay, so that's a little VS Code trick. Pretty cool. Okay, so in my div with the class of row in the opening tag, I'm going to give this a style with a min height of 200 pixels. And I'm using a plugin, an extension to VS Code called Live Server. And so what that allows me to do is I can click a button here, go live, and it's going to bring up my site. But I'm not seeing anything yet. So what I actually have to do is bring in the CSS for Bootstrap 5. So I'm going to go here and Google Bootstrap 5. Okay. And I'll come to this page. It says Introduction Bootstrap version 5.0. If I click on that, I'm going to copy this CSS to my clipboard, and I want to paste it right here. And if you see it running along here, you can do Alt-Z in VS Code to wrap the words around. Now, I'm not using the Bootstrap JavaScript for this tutorial, but I'll show you where to put it. So if we go down here and we copy the bundle, you want to put it right above the closing body tag. So I'm just going to put that in there just to, for good practice. Okay. So what you see here is we're breaking this apart into, well, let's take a look because I haven't shown you it yet. So now it's showing up, now that I have the CSS coming in, it's showing up. These each have a height of 200 pixels because the rows has a height of 200 pixels, and we each have different colors, and they're evenly across. Okay. Now I have a div with a class of container. You can also do a div with a class of container fluid. And with that, what's going to happen, it's going to go all the way across the screen here. Now, if I do Control-Shift-I, you'll see here it's still going all the way across the screen, but it's fluid as the screen expands and closes. Now, with the other one, if we just go to container here and go back, you'll see we always have this little side margin with that. I kind of like container fluid. But that's the container around the grids, okay? Now, Bootstrap has 12 different grids that you can do. So what I'm going to do here, so we're not going to do any breakpoints, but I'm going to do just call -1, okay? And then let's copy this. And copy that. And we'll do paste it, and paste it, okay? And now we've got 12 different grids, okay? Now we can change the grids too. So I could have one column that's 2 grids across, one column that's 4 grids across, and let's say one column that's 6 grids across. So let's actually do that. So let me get rid of all this stuff here. And so let's now do one that is 2 across here, one that's 4 across here, and then one that is 6 across. Okay. And now we see the one that's 2 across, the one that's 4 across, and the one that is 6 across. Now I can also use an offset here. So let's say I wanted to make these all 2. And I wanted to center the grids, even though I'm using container fluid. Well, how would I do that? Well, I would have to have an offset. Well, the remaining grid space is 6 because you want them to add up to 12, right? So we have 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. So we have 6 remaining. So I want an offset of 3. So I could do offset dash 3 as a class that I pass in. And now we've got an offset of 3 here. That also means 3 on here. And we have these 3, which are 2 wide in the middle. Okay, and we can you can play with this. Let's say you want to do this one is 3 and this one is 1. Okay. And then, change it however you want, right? I could even do something like 1 here and do an offset of 2 here. And there we go. Okay. So there's a lot of different variations. Now there's also breakpoints that go along with this. So let's go down here. If I go down to, I want to search for grid. So I'm just going to search for grid. It's the easiest way to find it. If I go to breakpoints right here, you notice they have breakpoints for different screen sizes. They don't have one for extra small, which is less than 576 pixels, but small is greater than or equal to 576 pixels up to medium, which is less than 768 pixels. So let's add in some breakpoints here. And I'm going to get rid of the offsets. So let's just make each of these 2. And let's do the offset of 3. Let's center them, okay? And we're going to go here, and I want to make each of these have a breakpoint on the medium screen. So we'll do MD dash, okay? So that's going to give breakpoints for the medium screen, which is greater than or equal to 768, but less than 992. Okay, so do Control-Shift-I again. And if I drag this here on my Edge browser, it tells me the width of the screen. So currently I'm at 873, and I'm going up, keep going up. If I get less than 768, these are going to stack vertically. So I'm going down, right, almost there, and then boom. So right now I'm 770, 766. So you saw it, that 768 is where you have that breakpoint, and then they stack vertically. Now, if I didn't want them to stack vertically at that point, I could go here and change each of these to small. Okay, now if I go back, look, they're still stacking. So now I have to go down smaller. I think I have to go to less than 576, maybe. Let's check. Yeah, less than 576 right now. Boom. 573. So as soon as I went under 576, they stacked. Now, if I can't do anything besides extra small, I don't believe. Unless maybe if I take out the dash, then if I keep going, yeah. So there's no further breakpoint. Okay, so that's just going to keep them next to each other, no matter how small the screen goes. Okay, I can also do, you can do dash XL for extra large, and that is going to, yeah, see, my screen's not wide enough. I have a 14-inch screen here, so I'm not going wide enough for them to go horizontal. If I change it from XL to LG, though, there we go. So now they stack horizontally. So look a little bit at the column documentation. You can use col. Sometimes if you want to align them a little bit differently, let's duplicate this. And let's do center here and start here, and I need a background color. So let's do div 3. That's what I'm forgetting. Div 2 and div 1 here. And so you see how div 1 is here, div 2 is here, div 3 is here. Let's give some background colors so I can see what's going on here a little bit better. Style equals background color. Let's do aqua, and then go down here. Again, we'll change this to orange, and I'll change this one to red. Okay. And there we go. So you see how they're aligning. Now in the example here, we have column align self start. I did self end, center, and self. So I reversed it just to kind of do a demonstration. Let's do start. Okay. And if we see start here, now they're start. So they're aligning vertically a little bit different. But if I do this one to end, the red's going to go down. And there we go. We go down like so. Anyway, so that's some of the grid system in Bootstrap 5. I don't want to ramble on too much. Hopefully this video is helpful. If it was, please give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.